Hello and welcome to today's virtual card and a cuppa. My name is Fiona Whitten and start again. My name is Fiona Whitten and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator based in Wokingham in Berkshire in the UK. So twice a month I host, or some of my team host, a card and a cuppa event over at the Home Grange Craft Village. And we meet at the Grange Chocolate Cafe and have some fun. And then in the afternoon, I go live on Facebook and share the 3 samples that we take with us. And then I also make a 4th card live. So that's what today is all about. I'm going to share the 3 cards and the kit that we used this morning. And then I will make a 4th card, and I'm just double checking that this is live. It looks like it is, which is good, and I'm going to leave it like that. Right, so these are the 3 samples that I took with me, and I'll show you the kit first because then you'll understand where we were coming from. So the kit, everybody can pre-order the kits. I usually ask that people order them like two weeks in advance, just so that I can get them in the post to people who are not able to attend in person. So in the post is always an option. So the 2 kits together cost £5, and then I asked for a nominal £1 towards the postage, and they get posted normally first class. But anyway, so the kit today, there's always an envelope so you can send your card. This is Starry Sky, which is one of the 2022 to 2024 in colours that is going to be retiring at the end of the month. There's a panel of basic white to go inside the card. A panel of Parakeet Party, which is also retiring at the end of the month. So basically all 5 of the 2022-2024 in colours will be retiring. So we'll be saying goodbye to them. And so that's not just the cardstock, but it's the ink, the blends, any embellishments, ribbon, anything to do with those in colours will be going. But it does mean that we do get a brand new set of in colours, which will then be good for 2 years, from 2024 to 2026. So anyway, so that's the basic kit. And then there was also a piece of the, I think it's Delightfully Eclectic, I have to say. Let me just double check. No, Delightfully Eclectic paper, which is a 12 by 12 paper pack, and has an amazing number of 48 sheets in it. Sadly, that will also be retiring at the end of the month. And what's more, it will be going on sale on the 9th of April with 50% off. So that's an absolute bargain. 48 sheets for what will be £14. Anyway, so there's that paper. Then there is also a rectangle of basic white, which has been die cut using the deckled rectangles. And then last but not least, there were some embellishments. So this is a piece of ribbon, which is retiring, and some rhinestones, which are not retiring, thank goodness. I think I'll be totally lost if rhinestones were going, because that's one of the things that I can use on any card really. But anyway, so that was the basic kit that everybody received. And then today I took with me some scrap cardstock. So I took, this is Orchid Oasis, and then I also took the Starry Sky and the Parakeet Party. So the first card that I made looks like this. So it involves some stamping. So we have Parakeet Party stamped leaves, and the stamp set that I used was the Petal Park. So this is the stamp set that we used. This is retiring. I'm sorry to say there's quite a few bits and pieces retiring at the end of the month. So my My shelves are looking somewhat bare at the moment, so this is retiring at the end of the month, and it too will be on sale. Will be 20% off on the 9th of April. So we use that stamp set. So we stamped the leaves. There are some little flowers behind there. So I used, on this one, you can just about make out, I used these solid images. On the rest, I used these images, which can be coloured in, or you can just use them and leave them as is. So the leaves are actually ones that could be coloured in if you wanted to. So it was simply stamping the leaves, the flowers, and then using the Petal Park Builder Punch, which is not retiring. Hey! So using that, we punched out some flowers and some leaves from, so as I said, this one's Orchid Egg Oasis and Parakeet Party. Glued those together, added them to this panel, and then I used the Stampin' blends. So I used the alcohol markers to colour the ribbon. So although the ribbon is black and white, you can colour with the alcohol markers with the Stampin' blends and end up with a coloured piece. So it's not just this colour, any of the Stampin' blends can be used for that purpose. Stamped the envelope, and I stamped the middle of the card as well on that one. So that was that card. Second card that I made was this one. So I stamped the leaves around the edges of the Parakeet Party. So this is Tone on Toad. So I used Parakeet Party ink and stamped on the Parakeet Party cardstock to give that effect. I then cut down the paper, so rather than using the whole piece, I first of all used the reverse side, and what I did was I just cut it so that it was slightly larger than the basic white panel. But before I glued it all together, I stamped the Happy Birthday in Starry Sky, and then I used a post-it note, just your normal standard post-it note, or whatever you buy from your local supermarket, and all you need to do, and I simply just cut off the sticky bit like so. Stamped my sentiment. Where's my panel gone? It's here somewhere, but hey, I'll find it in a second. Anyway, I stamped the panel and then simply put the post-it note over the top, so that then when I stamped again, it didn't actually ink and go onto. So if you imagine this was not stamped, so that went over there, and then I stamped the leaves and the flowers. Removed this and then added the flowers to the card front. The ribbon this time around, rather than tying it in a bow, I just simply tied a knot. Used a glue dot to hold it down so that it's not sort of loose, and then used some tear tape at the back to actually hold it firmly on the back as well. So don't use glue on when it comes to ribbon and things, because it just simply soaks into the ribbon, and then once it dries the ribbon will fall off. So tear tape is your friend when it comes to actually putting ribbon onto a card. So that was that. Glued the panel once I cut it down to the basic white, and then popped it onto the card front using some dimensionals. And then the front, the inside of the card, I just simply stamped the flowers. Now I could actually colour these using the Stampin' blends. I might just do that in a moment, but not whilst it's on here. And then similarly with the envelope, you could colour that, but you'd want to make sure that there's something in between inside the envelope so that the alcohol markers don't bleed through to the back. So that was that card. My third card, there was hardly any stamping on this one. So simply stamped the happy birthday in Starry Sky. I punched out quite a few flowers. There's actually 6 here. So each of those flowers there are 2. So you've got a larger one and a smaller one, and then same again, and then that one's an even smaller one and the little one. And again, some leaves, and then just simply glued all those together and put them on to the deckled rectangle. And then rather than using the Parakeet Party cardstock, I actually just used it to frame this, and then just used the whole of the panel of double-sided paper, so that it ended up so that you've actually got a larger frame of Starry Sky behind. Obviously for this one I did actually turn the card around, so I've got a landscape rather than a portrait, which does mean, because of the way the card's cut, that we do end up with a fold on the top, but hey. And then I coloured the flowers. So I coloured these, I think stamped them in Starry Sky and coloured them with a light orchid oasis, and also some lemon lolly, I want to say. That's what I've got anyway. So that's what I did with that, and then similarly I did that. So this is actually shows you, so that's the orchid oasis, and then that is the Starry Sky. So you can see there is quite a difference in that. Normally I would say to people, if you're colouring with Stampin' Blends, you should really use Memento, so that you're using an ink-based for your actual image, and then colour using your alcohol marker, so you need to have the opposite. But if you're just doing small images, then some of you take a little bit of care, it shouldn't bleed, it should be okay. Anyway, so those were the 3 cards. And then I should have said that the sentiments, because the Petal Park stamp set has no sentiments, there is the Sentimental Park stamp set and dies, which are carrying over, so you could use those, but I actually use the go-to greetings, because as it says on the box, these are my go-to greetings. You can guarantee that not everybody wants necessarily to make a happy birthday or a thank you, so by taking this to Card and a Cuppa, it means that anybody can use. There's a different variety of sentiments and in a different variety of sizes. So from that point of view, this is a really good stamp set to get. Sadly, this is also retiring. I can't believe this is all my favourites are retiring. So, but hey, life goes on. Stampin' Up goes on. We will have lots of new things to share come 1st of May. So if you want to see stuff in the catalogue, so you'll find the Petal Park stamp set on page 37, and as I said, with effect from the 9th of April, there will be 20% off, but only whilst such supplies last, and then obviously it will go on the 30th of April if there's stuff left. The go-to greetings is simply retiring on the 30th of April. There's no price reduction on that. The Delightfully Eclectic, which is on page 129, come the 9th of April, there will be 50% off. So instead of £28 for 48 sheets, this is 12 by 12 double-sided, by the way, it will be £14. And the Petal Park Builder Punch is carrying over, so which is great. So those are the things that I used. I guess I now need to decide what I'm going to make, and I still can't find where I put that. Oh, you know, I can't believe what I do sometimes. So it was right in front of me, I know, because I showed you. I picked it up and I showed you. Oh dearie me, heck. What the? I'm not going to swear. Oh, here it is. Right, okay. So I've got that, and that, and that. All right, I'm going to put the rhinestones to one side, and I'm going to put the ribbon to one side in the vague hope that I don't lose them. At least that's the plan. I've got those to stamp. I can put my card base to one side. Now, I just wanted to quickly share with you. So this is the Petal Park Builder Punch. And as you can see, there are actually 3 flowers and 1 leaf on the actual punch. But when it comes to the stamps, the 3 flowers, sorry, and the leaf are separate. So where's the leaf? Boom, boom, boom. So they're separate. So if you want to be economical with your cardstock and you plan to be punching these out and then colouring them or whatever, then the tip is first of all, punch out the image from a piece of scrap. So I simply got a old piece of basic white. In fact, this actually could even be whisper white. And then simply punch. So I turned it upside down and I punched out that image. And then what you want to do, because when you're punching, you want to be having the punch that way round so you can see where you're actually cutting, you place your stamp inside that punched area, like that. And you also place the leaf. Now the leaf has got like a more rounded end and a pointy end. So you just simply place it in there like that. Oops, she says. Okay. And what that means is that when you lay it down and you bring in your block, you can pick up all of those images at the same time. So that when you do want to stamp and colour, I've just got another blank piece of basic white here. I'm just going to use some memento and show you. So you're going to ink up you also want to make a note of where that leaf is. So there's no point in stamping the leaf up here, up there in the middle, because the leaf, when you're punching it out, is actually down the bottom. So you just need to make sure that your stamp is orientated the right way. So I'm just going to stamp there. Like so. And it means that when you open the punch, which you do by sliding that up, placing the cardstock inside, you can see. Sorry, I've just got this tilted so I can see it. So it's kind of there. So you can see now that I've got the images centered in that punch, and you can just go ahead and punch them out. And for this point, I've just sort of done it tight enough so that I'm actually biting on that. Oh, the paper's been bitten by the stamp, by the punch. And then I'm going to punch through. And that will then punch out all 4 images. So I've got my 3 flowers and I've also got my leaf. Now, if you're just going to be punching from cardstock, which is what we did today, then I would suggest you simply have your cardstock that's wide enough and long enough to do those 3 in whatever colour, and then just a thinner strip to do your leaf, and then just basically punch along the line. So you can see from here, which is exactly what I did. I simply punched along the line some leaves. So I did this beforehand, so I've actually already punched out the leaves and things that I want. Okay, so then the other trick to share with you is when it comes to stamping. Now, I don't want that leaf, so I'm going to take that off there for a start. And put it somewhere there. Hopefully I don't lose it, which means I probably will. So, hey. And then the other thing that I want to do before I go any further is colour my ribbon. Now I'm going to colour it, actually, you know what, I think I'm going to colour it yellow. So I'm going to get my dark lemon lolly. And the reason I'm doing it now, so although it's alcohol markers, and they do dry pretty quickly, I want this time to make sure that it's dry before I do actually put it on anything. So I'm just going to quickly, just using the brush end, colour the ribbon. And obviously you can do this with any of the Stampin' Up ribbon that's white. So I'm just going to leave that. And of course I've now got a long line, but hey, that doesn't really matter. So that's that and that's that. So the next thing I want to do is I want to show you how to stamp this image. So this image and this image actually go together. So it's called two-step stamping. So you stamp one image and then you stamp the other. So I'm going to stamp this one first, and I'm going to stamp it in, I'm going to stamp it in Parakeet Party. Keep it in like the actual cardstock I'm using. So that's that. And it's just a question of trying to get as much of this on here as possible. So you might want to put it at an angle. It's just because of the size that this deckled rectangle is. So it's all one image being stamped at the same time. Okay, that's fine. Put that to one side. So that's my image. Now I want to stamp these flowers onto here, and you'll notice that there is actually some open space on here. So you've got this piece, and that piece, and that's where your flowers are going to go, like so. And I'm going to use Starry Sky for that. So I've got one here, one there and one there. You just need to make sure that these are the right way round. So you've got the large image going in that larger space. And because I'm not standing up, this is just a pure guess. Hopefully it's right. Yeah, that's fine. Like so. So that's my fully stamped image. I've got my yellow piece of ribbon, which now that I see it on there, I'm not too sure, but hey. I'm going to bring in my Stampin' blends. And I'm going to colour. So first of all, I'm just going to colour the centre of the flowers. Like so. So I'm not going to be worrying too much about that. So that's done. So that's lemon lolly that I've used. The leaves, I think I might just colour these little bits here. These fronds, and I just suddenly realised I don't even know why I actually bothered to colour that, because I'm probably going to put the flowers over, but maybe not. Maybe I'll leave one. What's that? Maybe I will colour. Maybe I'll put. I'm going to leave it like that for the moment. So I've got some fronds coloured. I've coloured the centres of those, but I'm actually thinking now that what I might do is I can either put one flower on or two flowers on, and I haven't decided on that one. So I'm going to bring in the flowers that I've already stamped, not punched even. So these are the three sizes. So I've got the larger and the middle size and the smaller ones. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a flower using two of these. You want to make sure that the paper's kind of soft and give it some dimension so that it doesn't look all flat. So you can just basically roll it in your hand, fold it up, whatever you feel comfortable or not comfortable with. It's, you know, whatever you want to do. And then you want to sort of I use my Take Your Pick tool, so I use that sort of end. Not much point using the flat end. And then I just use it to form more of a flower. And so that was that one. And I think I might, was that one? No. I might do the small one as well. Like this. And again, I'm going to and these are going to get glued together. I've had my glue sitting upside down, so hopefully there's going to be some coming out. Yay! So I'm just going to put those two together. Doesn't have to be exactly in the middle. It's good to try and get it in the middle, but hey. And again, I'm going to I might just put that on there. And maybe just add another one. Something that will make it 4 flowers though. Right, I'll stop there for a second and then I'll think about it as I talk you through some of the other things. So we want a couple of leaves as well. And again, you want to sort of fold them in half. And remember, this punch is staying, so this can be used whenever you want to. But the stamp set is going, so I'm going to have 3 leaves, I think, for the moment. Well, this is only a little flower, so I don't need the leaves to be too big. So I'm just going to cut bits off. And I want the pointy ends. So let's get the glue again. And you can do it one of 2 ways. You can glue the flower and then tuck the leaves under, or stick the leaves on and then stick the flower on top. I actually quite like to do it this way, to actually have my flower on there. Just because I can then add the leaves where I want them. So I might put 2 there. And the 3rd one here. So you can add those with glue or glue dots, it's really up to you. So I'm just going to dab a little bit of glue on the back and tuck it under. And again, you can use your Take Your Pick tool for that. Just use the pointy end to sort of tuck it under. And then once it's dry, you can then fluff up the bits, like the leaves and the flowers that you want sort of fluffed up. Because they're already soft, because you've already sort of bent them, and so the paper fibres have been already broken, so it makes it much easier to be able to fold them up. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to certainly going to put a rhinestone in the middle of that. Don't know what I'm going to do when it comes to the ribbon now that I've coloured it. Maybe I'll just tie a bow. Let's see what that looks like. It's dry, so I'm not going to end up with the colour all over the place. Now I could go over this again to make it a bit darker. And that's not a very good bow. I managed to twist it. So I always do bunny ears. Like how you teach the kids to tie their shoelaces. Well, at least that's how I taught my kids how to tie their shoelaces. And obviously you can play around with the bow to your heart's content to make it as large or as small as you want. Now, which way do I want this? Actually, I quite like it that way. Rhinestone. What did I do with them? There we go. Oops. So I've only got little rhinestones here, but that's okay. Now you could actually colour these rhinestones as well. So if you use your Stampin blend, give it a second and then pick it up. I'm going to use the putty end and stick it in the middle. And see, it's just got a slight yellow hue. And the more times you go over it, obviously the darker that colour will become. So let's just go over it again in situ. I'm just using the brush end again. Beware though, it can ruin the nips of your blends. So that's that, and that's that. Now, so I've got this, this and this. I've got my card. So whether I leave it like that, put my yellow bow there, just so that it picks out the centres of the flowers. Let's put some more yellow on, trying to make sure that it doesn't go green. Let's cut these off. Now, I'm never very good at cutting ends on ribbons to make bows, so I always find if I turn it upside down and then just sort of cut it so that it's straight on a flat, that one's not very good. That one needs to be like that. Then that's what works best for me. So I need a glue dot. For my bow. So I'll just pick this up, put that on. Like so. Now we could put a sentiment on. I don't think I'm going to use that paper. So it's going to be like that. Sentiment. So, and I could put a big happy birthday on. Which is like, I think is what I'm going to do. But I'm going to do Starry Sky. I don't want to do tone on tone. I want to do something a bit bolder. So I think Starry Sky would be a good one for that. It would help, of course, to make sure that it's the right way up. Give it a good check to make sure it's well and truly inked up. So this is 10 centimetres wide because it's 1/2 centimetre narrower than the card front. Put that on there. Gonna have that going up a bit. Like that. And hopefully I can get this straight. You know what? I'm going to go for it. And if it doesn't work, I'm going to turn it over. So I'm going to put that down there. Oh, there we go. It worked. And it's relatively straight, which is a good thing. So this can now get glued onto the card front. Like so. Oops, and I meant to make sure it's the right way round. Do not want to be putting it upside down. The other thing I should have done was burnish the score, the fold. So let's do that quickly. That. So this can get added like that, and I'm going to put that on with some dimensionals, which I did have. Who knows where I put them? I've had a bit of a tidy up, ha ha ha. And I thought I'd put them here, but obviously not. Bear with me 2 seconds. Unless I go find them. I found them. Put them in a safe place, but right in the middle of another table, which is really not much good when you're working here. Right, so that's my base card. That's my... And you can see what I mean by the fact that the ink, the Stampin' Blends ink has come through, which is why you need to be cautious when it comes to actually stamping and colouring on an envelope. Stamping's no problem, it's the colouring. What's that? That's going to go on here, about there. So that's that. Then I've got to do my inside and I need to do my envelope. So that's that. Where's my envelope? There, nope. I haven't got a huge table, so there's really no reason for me to lose things. Oh. But anyway, right, I'm just going to do the inside and then I'll do the envelope later. Sheet, no, just found the envelope. It was behind one of the other cards. So I'm going to do exactly the same thing again. I'm going to stamp the leaves on both and then I'm going to stamp the flowers. But I'm not going to colour them. I'm just going to leave them plain. So I've got my leaves. And I don't really need it to be all the way on, because obviously that would then cover the whole of the page pretty much, which is not what I need. I just want it to be sort of in the corner, just draws your eye to it. And then the flowers. Which are here. Now this is actually... Did I do that the same way? Just make sure. Yes, okay. So you're not actually going to see that much of the actual other flowers. Certainly not on here. So that's my envelope. And then same again here. Got to find the space to put them like that. This one I could colour, because I don't need to worry too much, because I haven't glued this in yet. So I am just going to quickly, I think I'm just going to do these bits here. and the centre of the flower, like so. So let's get all these bits off, tidy up a bit. Well, brush it to one side anyway. So that's my envelope. Here's my card. I'm going to put that on the inside. This is the other bottle of glue, which is not so good, even though it was upside down. I think that one deserves to go away. Let's try again. There we go. So if you would like to order the kits for, where are we, April now, for May, then you can do so by going to my blog, which is oakvillecrafts.com, and then you click on the top where it says classes and events, and then there will be a link down that says card and a Cuppa kits, and you can click on that and order your kits. And then obviously if they need to be posted to you, then they there's an additional £1, so it costs you £6 rather than the £5. Those of you who come to Card and a Cuppa can obviously pick up your kits, that first one in June, because you've now got, in May, sorry, because you've already got April's kits now. Anyway, so that is my card for today. So that's my finished card. And I just need to share with you the other ones again. So all these will go up on my Facebook page, so on the Oakville Crafts Facebook page. And then obviously this video will get uploaded to YouTube too, so that you'll be able to see that sort of the end of the week. And it'll also have all the details and all the supplies. So I hope you've enjoyed that. I see you next week for some stamping and creating. But before I do, quick reminder, the last chance list is available. The sale prices start on the 9th of April. I will be placing an order on the 9th of April quite early on. So if you can pick up from me, then please let me have your order by noon on the 8th, so that I can send you an invoice to pay, and then I can add all your bits to mine, and then you don't have to pay for the postage. And yeah, that's it. So I will see you soon. Take care. Bye.